Okay, so here is the video where I'm explaining how to score the Lovebird cards. All right, so I'm going to send you an email after I record this, including the recording and kind of explaining the base of what I'm going to explain right now. So I'm going to share with you this Excel sheet, okay? And then I'm going to go through everything that I'm going to teach you today. So let's see. I hope you can see my mouse. That would be cool. All right. So this is the bird ID. We know what that is. It's on the card. And then each photo, we're not going to go through and rename them because that's kind of dumb. Each photo has its own number. And then each photo, we're going to score the hue, the saturation, and the brightness for the chin, right, which is the orange one. So we're going to score the chin, and then we're going to score the rump, which is the blue one. And then we're going to score the tail, which is obviously the last one. And then this is the slot where we would fill in the second photo for each feather, right? So when we took pictures of these, we took 2 pictures just to make sure that we essentially got the same results each time. So that's just double, right? But we're not going to do that for the initial one. And then for here, this is where you see this like line with all the colors on the top of each picture. So that is where we're going to rescore the red and the blue and do the hue, saturation, and brightness for each of them. And then also, so for the tail and for the red square area, we're going to write down the exact area that we find. Okay. So long story short, I'm sending you the files, right? So I forget how I exactly downloaded all of this. So I press download all of them. It's just kind of easier to have them already on your computer. And then you're gonna need to download Photoshop. So you can just get it as an installation on your computer, but then you have to like sign up for a free trial, which I think lasts for a week or 2 weeks. I think I'm probably paying for mine now, but that's okay. Okay. So once you've downloaded the pictures, downloaded Photoshop, then I'm just going to assume that you've done that or paused and whatever. And so we're going to press open. And I don't know, I guess my computer kind of does it different than Dr. McGraw's, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to show you one that's pretty and then probably show you one that isn't if I have time before my computer dies. Okay, so we're going to do the last one. So I found the one that I wanted to because I wanted 8705, right? So it says it up here too, 8705. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this one is kind of annoying because the feathers are out of order from what it usually is. But first, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the bottom here, right? And then we're going to type 200. We want 200 zoom for everything just so it makes it the same. And so we want to use this little tool that says magic wand. And so this is going to, you're going to see, I'll start on the chin one. So you're going to see when I click, that clicks pretty much everything that I wanted to grab. So this is kind of the tricky part. This is where essentially what we don't want is we don't want any gray, we don't want anything under the tape, and we don't want any white. So once it gets over here, and hopefully you can see my mouse, once it gets to the edges, right, that's not really the color that we're looking for. Okay, so when you click it once, okay, then it grabs what you want. Then you click outside of it and it kind of gets away from it. So you click it once and then you press shift and then click again and tap where you want to grab the color. And then you can click again and try and get these little dots away. And so I'm pretty happy with this. It's kind of getting a little bit of gray, a little bit of white. This one isn't really a good example of the orange, but that's okay. See, that kind of did a little bit too much light. So then we're going to go up here, say edit, undo magic wand. Undo magic wand, it just is like a back button. Okay. And then up here, we're going to say window. We're going to scroll all the way down, histogram. Okay. So histogram, this is where it's going to tell us some of the numbers that we need. So we're going to look at, this is kind of where it gets complicated, just a little bit. So we're going to look at the red, the green, and the blue. Okay. And the way that we're going to do that, we're going to take, see these little color things on the bottom? We're going to click one of these. Okay. Color picker. And so the red mean, right, for up here, it's 173.01. Okay. And it doesn't do decimals, so we're going to round up to the nearest like whole number. So 173. Okay. And then we're going to go to the green. Okay. The mean for the green, 137.45. So 137. Okay. Blue, 108.64. So 109. Okay. And then here is where it gives us the hue, saturation, brightness. Okay. So then now this is where we go over to our sheet. And so we're going to write chin hue is 26. Chin saturation is 37. Brightness is 68. Okay. So now we're done with the chin. Okay. So we press OK up here. And then we're going to go do the blue. Okay. So it's the same deal. We're going to, so for this one, actually, it's kind of has a lot more gray here. So we're going to try and click where we want it to start. Okay. So that's still getting gray. We don't want the black here. So that's kind of a good place to start, right? So we're going to click, nope. This is kind of the tedious part of this. That's kind of better, kind of worse. So maybe I'll click out here. Yeah, that was better. Nope. Yeah. So this will test your patience a little bit. But that's okay. Nope. So maybe I just need to start over. Okay. I'm gonna click that again, click. And while I'm clicking shift. So this isn't terrible. This is okay. I'm kind of struggling with this one, so I might just say this is good. I'm gonna tap again and see if it grabs anything that I'm hoping for, but if it doesn't, I can always press back. So you can always let's see if it'll do it. You can click somewhere kind of out, like up here. See, I like that and I don't, because it still grabbed a lot of white. So when in doubt, just don't go for the frayed pieces. Okay. So I'm gonna be okay with that. And we're doing our best here. We didn't do a perfect job fixing the feathers, so it's going to be a little bit more tricky, but hopefully for the finches we'll get it down. So for the mean for the blue, 190, okay, 119. So green, 117.7, 118. And some people write them down individually and then do it all at once. I think it's just easier to type it in. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do. Okay, rump. Hue, okay. Saturation, 13, 47. So another thing with this is that we don't really want to share between us what we're getting. It just kind of creates a bias, and then before I go back to that. So see this little like little alarm symbol in this picture of the histogram. We're going to click that and it's just going to refresh it. You have to make sure that you keep track of when that pops up. it's important that we refresh it when it needs it. Okay. So yeah, don't share your data. Ask questions to Dr. McGraw and I, and Maddie, but try not to like send your actual data between everybody. Okay, so now we're on the tail. So this part is kind of interesting because we're trying to get as much, obviously, orange and yellow, and maybe a little bit of the green, but nothing too dark. So then I'm going to click over here and try and get this part. That was pretty good. I'm going to try and keep clicking over here. Just keep trying and make sure you're pressing on that shift. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We make sure we don't want to get this middle part of the feather either. Okay, so then we're going to go over here, put all the numbers in. So hopefully you know that I'm putting in the mean, and that's the top left number of the histogram right there. So for the red, 164, green. Hopefully you guys don't mind watching this. I think it's easier with everybody's schedules and stuff. And you can go back and hopefully see what I'm doing. Okay, 71. All right, so this is where we're gonna add a little bit of something new once we put these numbers in. It's really nothing difficult. We just wanna keep track of doing this. So we're gonna do tail red area. Okay, so we're gonna go over here, right? And this little histogram thing tells me everything about what I picked up on the feather. So it says pixels. So that's where it's going to tell us the area. So we're going to write right here. 50394. Okay. 50394. Okay. 50394. Okay. All right. So that was the first part of this one. And then we're going to go do the second part, which is kind of, I like to do this first. It's just kind of easier. But you know, to each their own. So yeah, we're gonna want to make sure that we're always on the 200 zoom, and that just kind of keeps us the same, at least keeps the most variables out of it as we can. So Dr. McGraw likes to pick the little top one up here for the histogram thing, or for the color scoring thing. I'm not making sense anymore. That's okay. Okay, and then we want to make sure, see, I did that before I clicked it. So we want to make sure we're on the magic wand. We're going to tap as in the middle as you can. Okay, that was pretty good. There's none of those little weird hole things. So I'm just going to leave it with my one click. All right, so blue, 72. 63, 2, 6. Okay, so red, and then I just leave this as 356. Dr. McGraw was explaining how essentially, since it's red, so there's a color wheel, right? And it's a wheel. So it's 350 degrees. And so once it's past the number 350, it becomes a negative number. But that kind of just made me not confused, but I just felt, I don't know, I just left it as this number. And he was okay with that. So if you want to do negative, that's fine. If you don't, that's probably fine. Okay, so we're gonna go to blue, and then I'm gonna press shift because it had those weird hole things. And I'm just gonna do this. And then hopefully I'm making sense, and yeah, you can always Slack me or whatever if you have questions. It's kind of confusing, and then once you do it a couple times, it feels much easier. Okay, and then usually, so we're gonna want to double check our, I realized I put this in the wrong spot. we're going to want to double check our information. So you'll probably want to rescore the first like 1 or 2 ones that you do every time you do it, because maybe you're tired, maybe you forget, maybe you lose track of what you're doing. I don't know. But just to keep things more consistent, that's something that I found that I was kind of missing. Oh, see. All right, so I forgot to do the red square area, so we're gonna do it again. And that's totally fine. And I messed this number up. See, just as I'm talking about messing up. All right. So we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna do it again. And then I bet you the numbers will be identical. This is a good check for ourselves. So blue. Sometimes these numbers, the red, green, blue, will be different, but then they'll still come out with the same brightness and everything, which I'm sure there's a good reason for that. But anyways, all right. So, oh, yep, it's the same. So that's cool. And then we're just going to put the area again. So this is, again, the pixels, which is the bottom left column of the histogram, which find the histogram by doing the window and then going all the way to histogram. All right. So pixels is 219,385. Okay. 219,385. All right. So now that we've done that, let's see. Yep, we did all of it. You can go through, double check yourselves. If you want to do it another time, the first couple times you do it, that's totally fine. I'm gonna go through and show you the first one because it's kind of funky. And then yeah, just let me know if you have questions. And yeah, so for whatever reason, mine don't like stay in Photoshop. I have to like reopen them every time. Hopefully that's different with your computer because it's kind of annoying, but that's okay. So yeah, we kind of screwed up on the chin part, and this one is just literally the first one that we did, so it looks very bad. So the first probably ones that we're gonna do are kind of gonna be harder, and hopefully it'll get easier. So for this one, we're probably gonna have a lot of variety in how we click, but again, the general rule is to not include any of the gray and the white. So we can click over here, try and get more of that, click that, nope, nope, okay, gonna do it again. It's a lot of trial and error, and this is like, nope. So we learned hopefully from our mistakes, and next time we will work this out better before we take the pictures, but that's okay. It happens. That's okay. I don't mind that. There is a lot of white, but let's try one more time. Nope. Yeah, it's very picky, and it really, so basically when you pick, like when you touch a spot, it's trying to pick up all the other colors, all the other color of that color. So if I pick this gray, right, it's gonna pick up all that gray, and that's what we don't want. So I'm gonna do that. That's okay. I want that. That's okay. That's pretty good for this one. I think this one is just terrible. My bad. Okay. So then we're gonna do window, histogram. Let's check my computer battery. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm probably just gonna zoom through this so that we can do the last part. So yeah, this one has 2 tail feathers as well. It was the very first one that actually, it wasn't even the first one that we did. I don't know. This is the campus one. We're doing these in alphabetical order to hopefully keep things in track. So I don't know. It's just funky, but that's what it is. So there's that, right? And then we're gonna skip through the blue because that's pretty, I mean, that's fine. Just don't do the gray right here. And I would avoid anything that looks dark, like this area, like just totally avoid that area and start once it starts getting blue. Okay, and then it's time to refresh our little thing. And so here, oh, also, so there's this lasso tool right above the magic tool. And you can, this is what I had to do for this one. You can actually draw like what you want. I'm doing literally terrible, but you can draw what you want to keep in. Okay. Oh, I gotta start over. That was awful. So sorry. Okay. So you're gonna draw what you want to keep, right? It's the same kind of tool. Okay. So I grabbed that and we're gonna press shift and you can do it again. You can keep going. I'm doing random spots just to show you can keep going. Okay. And then you can actually still grab the magic tool and do that. But see, the point is that it's going to grab the same color. So since there's two feathers here, we're trying to avoid grabbing the second feather, and then it creates a different amount of space that is just going to throw us off, throw the data off. Okay, so I'm going to do lasso tool. I'm going to do it from where this feather ends and do my very best to do that. And then my finger's kind of getting shaky, so we're going to stop there. And then we're going to go back to the magic wand. Nope. See? All right. I'm going to do it one more time. And then we're going to do the lasso. Okay. So I'm going to do the lasso. Just do your best. Ooh. All right. Since this is a video, I'm not gonna make it perfect. Try and I would do it again probably at that point, but this is just video, so I'm not going to. So yeah, overdid it. Just gonna do undo. Yeah, I would do a better job if this was not a tutorial, but yeah, I would redo that. There's still a lot of space on both sides of this color that we're trying to get. Okay, so yeah, I think that is about it. And I'm going to send you an email with this Excel sheet in it. And then, yes, please shoot me any questions that you have. And hopefully this was a good tutorial. All right. Thank you. Bye.